The Ever-Living Tree: The Life and Times of a Coast Redwood by Linda Vieira, illustrated by Christopher Canyon. Our big question is, how do forests and trees show change? It was a cool, foggy morning in a forest near the ocean when the little tree first poked itself up out of the ground. There were other trees in the evergreen forest just like it. Some were taller, some fatter, some older. Eventually, scientists would call this tree Sequoia sempervirens, an ever living sequoia. It would also be known as a coast redwood. More than 50 million years before this tree began to grow, different kinds of redwood trees grew all over the world. They lived at the same time as the dinosaurs until the glaciers came. Those slow moving rivers of ice made many plants and animals extinct. The long, narrow forest where the little tree grew stretched 600 miles along the western coast of the North American continent. It was bordered on the east by a huge mountain range and on the west by the Pacific Ocean. The movement of cold air from the ocean toward the sheltering mountains saved the forest from the glaciers. The cold, heavy air created low hanging fog, very important to the little redwoods tree's survival. Halfway around the world, Alexander the Great of Macedonia perfected the use of catapults in battle and became one of history's greatest generals. Using elephants as beasts of burden, he led his conquering army through Greece to India and over much of the civilized world. Inspired by his teacher Aristotle, he spread the ideals of Greek civilization throughout Europe and Asia. On the other side of the world, the little tree kept growing bigger. Time passed, and the new tree grew quickly. It spread its shallow roots far out under the floor of the forest. Its bark grew thicker, like an outer skin. It protected the living part of the tree, a thin circle of cells under the bark called the cambium. Every year, the cambium added a layer of bark toward the outside of the tree and a layer of new wood to the inside. The newest wood was called sapwood, where water and nutrients traveled up into the tree from the roots.